Welcome to the Copy Talk Podcast. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated. And now, here's your host, Shannon Ross.
Well, happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. It is Thursday, Cinco de Mayo. We should have margaritas and some chips going while we're broadcasting.
Well, you just said that on the podcast. Why didn't you say that?
I know. I was actually trying to make it to the liquor store on my way to pick you up, but, I always run out of time. So I had the idea. I just couldn't execute. Then I was like, on the way here, I was like, I need someone to execute these things for me so that they can meet us here with extras.
You know me. If you called and said, hey,
Ryan, can you bring us margaritas while we're on there? That'd be fun. I know. And Cinco de Mayo is such like the American way just to have Mexican food. I mean, literally, what do you think? I actually looked it up because I wanted to be sure. What do you think Cinco de Mayo is?
Can you give me just a second? I don't know. It's a day of eating Mexican food and drinking margaritas. That's all I can think of.
It is. Actually, took a picture. So a lot of ignorant Americans, myself included, think it's Mexico's Independence Day, but it is not. It's not at all. 5 facts about Cinco de Mayo is the U.S. has celebrated it since the end of the Franco-Mexico and U.S. Civil Wars. It isn't the Independence Day of Mexico. In many parts in Mexico, it's a work day. It's not really even a holiday. And
they don't even take off to drink margaritas?
It was when the Mexican army beat the French. And a Texan led those outnumbered troops in Puebla. There you go. Now you can all know why you're celebrating at your local Mexican restaurant
We're
tonight.
all just looking for an excuse to drink
chips
margarita.
and queso margaritas. Can't beat it.
I forgot it was even Cinco de Mayo.
I know.
Yeah.
See, so I wanted to at least kick off the show to remind you and everyone
and then
out
you do
there.
the whole, I was thinking about doing this today.
I know. Wouldn't that have been fun?
Yeah,
I know. And then I had the thought, because this is my old lady thought.
Yet,
it's not 11. I was like, and I'm trying to do this whole intermittent fasting thing, so I can't eat or drink anything. Noon is the absolute earliest. I was like, how old lady is like all of those thoughts playing in my head this morning. I'm like, you're old.
Well, to be fair, there are 3 other people in this room that are not intermittent fasting right now.
That's true.
Well, actually, I don't know that. I'm just making a solid assumption. So we would have done that right in front of you.
Yeah.
I can relate to your old lady thoughts. We are having a new mattress delivered today, and all I could think when I woke up this morning is I cannot wait to sleep on my new mattress tonight. That's old.
It's
an
things
old way
that
to think.
change you that you look forward to.
I know.
Sleep is a precious commodity once you hit, 35 or older, I think. Maybe 40 or older. But
mattresses and new appliances. I mean, what? That's the excitement.
I know. Well, how did your draft go? How did the bet go between you and Ryan, just to get it over with?
Well, Copy Talk world, let's allow
as Kelly's scrolling Facebook, or not even Facebook, Snapchat.
How did our bet go? How did it go?
I actually do not recall.
I do not recall, and
I do not recall.
Mm-hmm. Liar.
I was wrong. April was right. Trayvon Walker of Georgia went number 1 to the Jags. I thought it was a smokescreen. I overthought it.
You really did.
I am your textbook overthinker in all aspects of my life, and I overthought it. And April knows her draft, and she got it right. And I owe her a whatever a friendly bet is, wink wink, because we don't there's no
was it
changing of money. That's not that's not allowed.
It's like a gentleman's bet that doesn't
yes,
have cash
that's
involved.
what it was. It was a friendly bet, no money.
Here's the truth,
was on
though.
the line.
As long as I win,
You're okay.
I really could care less. It's just that I won.
April emailed me 10 times all weekend, rubbing it in my face. Like I was on the verge of tears. That's how much she was.
I did. I mean, the second Trayvon got it, I emailed him, and the subject line was "You owe me." And then he said nobody likes a showboat.
Victories.
Nobody likes a showboat. Have you met me? Hello. Of course, the showboat loves.
Maybe her nickname should be Showboat. I like it.
It's good. And then you need a fun nickname. And then we'll just say Copy Talk with Showboat and
Oh, let's let the copy talk.
TBD.
World
I know. I go by Blondie a lot. That's
Blondie.
your nickname for
Oh,
me.
Showboat and Blondie.
Yep, that's
Shansta.
usually-
You go by the Shansta with my son.
Well, with your son.
Yeah.
But
I don't want to be called a showboat all the time.
I like it.
Draft
T-shirts.
with Draft Guru
Now
and Blondie.
that we can go with. It was fun. It was a good draft.
It was.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
fun.
It was a
How much
circus.
did you watch of it? So it's probably like 12 hours total. Mm-hmm. How much did you watch?
So first round watched a significant amount. Well, then as the night went on, I was paying attention, but we were having fun at the draft party. Yeah.
party.
Yeah, her party. She's a hostess with the mostest. And then round 2, I watched. Kelly and I went and watched it. Oh, you don't know Kelly. I'm pointing to you. Not you, Kelly. Not different Kelly. And I watched a significant amount of that. But then after round 2, I dial out.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
No, we
I have it
all
on
night
as
at all.
background noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
We
turn it
watched
on
every
at
night
home
my
and then
house.
just. But I wasn't really paying attention. I couldn't even tell you who all the Cowboys got.
Yeah.
And I didn't know who that one dude was at all. You had to enlighten me. Tyler
Yeah,
Smith?
the post draft, because we do this in my world, in the sports talk world, we grade all the drafts, having these guys not played a single down, but
Right.
we do it anyway.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Cowboys got a D for their
Ooh,
letter
uh-oh.
grade.
Not surprising.
People weren't happy with their draft.
Not surprising.
Well, now you have to wait until the fall, until it starts, until
At least
August.
we had some football to talk about.
Yes.
Which makes me excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and your football, you love it. Well, Ryan can always pay you in cryptocurrency since we're finishing that series out today.
That's true.
Cuckoo for crypto.
Cuckoo for crypto.
So, did you study up on mining? We had an idea for mining. We know a potential miner.
I know a potential miner. And she listens to the podcast. So I think my mom, Marilyn,
Miss Marilyn, because
Miss Marilyn?
she's an avid Sudoku.
is it Sudoku? or
Sudoku. I don't know. I've heard both. Whatever. She likes those puzzles. This is like a digital version of that with like
Yes.
hundreds of computers
Yeah.
and people and
You have to solve all
You
of
know,
these crazy
math puzzles.
mathematical
which also
puzzles.
validates the security behind it. It's a genius
It is.
concept.
Well, and did you know, fun factoid, Marilyn was a math teacher in high school.
I didn't know that.
And then she was like, God, high school kids suck. I'm
Ooh,
out.
teaching
And
math
she went
in
to the
high school.
healthcare
God
world.
bless her. Yeah.
She never said that to me, but you know that's why she did it. Why she left. But yes, Marilyn, you need to take up she's retired. Why not? Get
Totally.
into crypto mining.
Totally. Get a server room. Just
It's a hobby.
sit there all day.
Absolutely. And Bob can help.
Bob can bring your coffee.
Yeah, Bob can bring coffee.
Sweet.
But to answer your question, I looked it up to try to do some research, and I just left going.
It's better, I think, on some of these concepts just to keep it high level. Because, like, number one, you're never going to need to know that because you're not going to be. No one listening to this show is going to be a miner. Probably never, because it's not a common.
Except you,
factoid.
Marilyn. Come on.
Maybe.
We just.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The degree of computers it takes. I don't know if Miss Marilyn would want all those computers.
Fair point. Fair point.
But anywho, we are going to finish the series, and I find it's an interesting week. So, this is a finance show, so we give tidbits here and there. This past week has been a horrific roller coaster in the market, including the crypto market.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really trying times. It reminds me a little bit of not to this degree, but how people were getting so stressed and nervous this past week reminded me in 2020 in March and April when the V-shaped recovery from COVID. So this week, the market tanked last Friday. It's been rebounding and going back and forth quite a bit. Yesterday was a very positive day. But poor people are on, it's wreaking havoc out there.
Really?
And I feel so bad.
What am I
I have so
missing?
many clients out there that, for especially, because I handle people who are either in retirement or very close to retirement. So these significant drops, it's really hard. Again, we talk a lot on the show about not making behavioral or emotional choices in tough times like this.
Yeah.
But, even this past week, I know that people have...
Easy to say, though.
Right. Easy to say.
Easy to say.
And, so we are going, after this series is done on crypto, we're going to go back to kind of the behavioral finance world a little bit, because I think with all of these factors, I see people hitting like a high of stress again, a high of anxiety again. The sad news about Naomi Judd this week came out, which is just heartbreaking. 76 years old, ended her life.
I love the Judds.
And so I think, so we're going to go more the behavioral route for
Okay.
a few weeks.
Okay.
I think just important to give people some tips and give people some
I like it.
insider track on the mental health side, because we spend quite a time doing that. I have a counseling practice that I run myself with a couple partners. And so we will talk on that side as well, because I think it's just important. Whenever you're stressed out and at every corner, think of everyone's world right now. You're at the gas pump. You're like, oh my gosh, that was $100 for gas. And then you go to the grocery store to pick up a few items and you're like, that's another $100. And and then you want to, heaven forbid, take a summer trip anywhere on an airplane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Everywhere we turn right now, it's hard to afford life.
Well,
which stresses people out.
And I can give you an update on inflation. Did you know that Nothing Bundt Cakes has increased their buntinis up to like $55?
Man, that is crazy.
Just trying to get a little bit of local news. If you don't have Nothing Bundt Cakes in your area, this won't apply to you. But if you do,
I've never heard of their buntinis. Are there? Those are the miniature ones?
Well, you guys love your crumble. Buntinis are this big.
Oh.
They're adorable. They're super
cute.
Can
someone bring us buntinis and margaritas? Like that's.
Are you hungry this morning?
No.
This intermittent fasting.
I can't eat for another hour. I'm always hungry in the morning. I can have tea and hot water. Do you know how boring that is?
We should have had chips and queso on the side till you could eat.
I know.
Seriously. Yeah. So that was a little bit of local.
Yeah.
Local plug there.
So don't get buntinis, people, because they're just off the charts.
I'm sure across the board, all their Bundt cakes are up in price.
Everything is up in price.
Make your own Bundt cake.
Totally. Well, and you joined HelloFresh this week.
I did. I joined HelloFresh. I did. We've done
you.
2 meals this week, and it's really good.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
I'm telling you out there. I mean, it's a way to, still cook, but keep your sanity.
Yeah.
That's
it's spelled out. It was quick. It was really good.
Oh, and then we got some bad news. The last thing coming out of our girls' trip, April got a video ticket in the mail that her husband took a recording of and sent it to both of us. $274 bucks. Crazy.
Okay, so we're supposed to be
looks really pretty in the picture, though.
We're supposed to be talking about crypto, but since you said this.
Yes, and then we'll go there.
Okay, one of those blasted little cameras, which I'd rather have
photo
one of these
cameras.
than
They're
get
everywhere
pulled
in
over.
Arizona. I know.
Like, I don't like
it. Didn't waste any time.
I didn't get the lights behind me because that would have stumped and kicked off our girls. It was the day we were driving in, and I was going 65 and a 50. To be fair to me, I kept having to ask Shannon, where are the speed limit signs in this town? That's how they get you. They pump one every 10 miles, and then they get you in the in-between.
Like, that's just not...
Anyways, we were ready to get to the hotel. We got there, and at least they get you up close and personal. I knew what sunglasses I was wearing.
I know. I was actually looking for myself in the picture, but it was so honed in on
me and the steering wheel, up close and personal. You're right. At least it was a good
that's the last bummer. Everything else was great.
Can I pay them in crypto?
I know, maybe.
I'm gonna call the state of,
and you have to pay it because we want to go back to Arizona, so you can't have like a warrant for your ticket arrest if we go back.
I would like to not have a warrant regardless, but
so that was the only bummer.
I could go to jail, and you could.
See, we thought we had gotten away squeaky clean, no trouble, no whatever, and that blasted thing came yesterday.
Yeah, that you had to point out on the podcast. No big deal.
I know. Well, I was trying to back you up with David about we've gotten these before and it's fine, and it's
shockingly he didn't really care.
No, he didn't.
Thought
he
it was
gave me a
hilarious.
thumbs down.
Yeah, he didn't really care. He's like, you need to pay this so you don't go to jail. I'm like, okay.
It's very official.
Whatever.
You have a court date if you want to fight it. Maybe we go back so we could go to court and stay.
I don't remember going 65 and a 50.
I don't either. I think it's wrong.
I think it is too.
But
that's not
we'll
me.
See, maybe. Oh, it's definitely you.
That was
15 miles an hour over. Like, no way. There's no way.
We should probably get back to crypto.
Okay, so we're going to get back to crypto. We're going to finish our CUCKOO for Crypto series. I can actually say it today, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, you did a good job.
We did a high-level overview. For those that haven't listened to last week's show, go back and listen, because we did a high-level overview of what it is, kind of the characteristics of different types of crypto, some of the mind-blowing history behind it, the mystery behind it.
The mystery.
I haven't watched that movie yet, so what's it called? Like Trust No One is about the Canadian crypto king that embezzled.
I didn't know.
Embezzled millions. I think 215 million.
Are you plugging a Netflix here? Is it a Netflix?
I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu.
Love Netflix series.
It's one of the two.
You don't have Hulu.
I know. I'm gonna have to use your password, but I need.
Don't say that on the.
I want to watch it because this guy embezzles all this money. And then fakes he fakes his death in India, but everyone wants his body exhumed because they want DNA testing to see if
I know
it's really
about this.
him.
Kathleen Madigan talked about it on the
yes,
podcast.
she did.
Once again, plug for Kathleen Madigan.
Yep.
Yes,
So,
I want to see
Trust
that.
No One is what it's called, so you all can listen to it.
You realize
and
there's
can
a big
see.
Netflix thing going on right now because people were sharing passcodes, right? And you just brought up Hulu.
Well, I didn't talk about Netflix. I talk about Hulu.
I know.
They
I'll
have,
give you my passcode. That's not a problem. I'm just letting
I won't use it. It's okay.
It's like they don't know people
We'll just
share.
watch it at your house.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's why it's legal.
That's a good way to
So
do it.
today, what I wanted to round it out, because again, we're not endorsing crypto, we're just being descriptive of it.
Right.
So this whole copy talk is an insider term that we use at our financial firm, is like the inside story of things is called a copy talk. And so we try to empower people, give them education,
Right.
so that at least we give you some buzzwords to then go research yourself.
Yeah.
And so as I wanted to round out this show, it's 11:11, by the way. I have to just point that out. It's my lucky number.
Oh, yeah.
So as we round out the show, we're going to just cover quickly to bring everybody back up to speed. What are the pros and cons?
You're all over the map today.
I know, I am. I'm hungry.
I like it.
What are the pros and cons in crypto?
Yeah.
And then how to, if you want to learn about it, if you want to purchase it, just kind of like a quick snapshot of how to do it.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't know because they've never researched it.
Okay.
So we'll give at least a high level overview.
So start with the pros.
So here are the pros that some experts give. I agree with most of these.
Okay.
Number one, a lot of people think that this is the currency of the future because it's a digital platform, because it's a global platform. We talked about last show. If you have a internet connection, a computer or a smartphone, you can participate.
Right.
You also typically need a bank account also. So you need a bank account.
Typically? Or don't you all the time?
Well, we'll talk about some cons
sorry.
that people
Okay.
do.
I was jumping ahead.
So, but
Okay.
you have to, normally your first crypto purchase, if you're not gifted crypto by someone or something, you will have to use actual money to buy your first cryptocurrency. And so people do have to use like a debit or a bank account to connect that. Some people use credit cards, which I think is really stupid. But we'll go over that in a moment. So some people, because of how rapidly it's being adapted across the globe, think it's the currency of the future because of the ease.
Okay.
Number two, it removes central banks from managing the money supply. And over time, these banks tend to reduce the value of money via inflation. Okay. And also governments are not centralizing it. So there's what's thought to be a lot less corruption in it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot less third party people in the middle kind of taking their take. And, you know,
the middleman's ultimate.
We all know, you know, again, the Fed, our last series was on interest rates. Yeah. The Fed just jacked up interest rates another 0.5 point. They were thinking about a quarter. I thought it was going to be 1/4 of a percentage. It was 0.5%.
Really?
We haven't seen that kind of increase since 2000. And so that's, again, going to drive up interest rates all the more.
I didn't see that on the news.
Is this happened yesterday.
Do they not tell people
It's kind of like in the dorky news. So like not on like NBC News or whatever, but if you're reading the financial section of like the Wall Street Journal or CNN or something, you know, it's like kind of embedded.
I don't go to even a newspaper. Do those exist anymore?
They do, but even on the apps. But yeah, it was it actually hit Apple News yesterday.
Well, that's what I read is Apple News. I missed that.
It.
Wow.
Maybe the Johnny Depp trial took over.
You know what? Bless his heart. Hashtag Johnny Depp.
Everywhere right now.
I'm sorry. I am.
We are all over the place.
Go, Johnny. All right.
Okay. Next pro. And then this is not our pro list, but this is kind of a collective agreed upon from several research articles. In communities, cryptocurrency, what's also attractive from a global perspective is it helps serve the needs of a traditional financial system in underserved markets. So it allows, from a global scale, people to have a more trusted source to keep currency in than maybe their bank, because maybe their local bank is corrupt.
So you're saying it's safer? Is that a safety measure?
The thought is potentially it could be safer.
Okay, I didn't mean you. I meant, yes. Is that the thought? All right.
Yes. And which leads us to our next one. A lot of people who are on the pro side of cryptocurrency do believe it is safer because of the blockchain technology. Well, we got into blockchain a little bit last week. It's the digital equivalent of a bank ledger. It records every single transaction. So it allows the authenticity of every single crypto sell, purchased, to be tracked. And what makes it so fascinating in the digital world is those that mine or those that do crypto staking, it helps a whole global network verify the validity of the blockchain being used. So it's almost like you have all of these computer science experts or, you know, people who do this 24 hours a day, all of the days of their lives, helping to verify the blockchain is correct. And in return, they are sometimes awarded crypto in return. So that's what the whole kind of high level mining concept
I'm
and
hearing a
staking
lot
concept.
of word salad right now. Like I just, you lost. Okay, you said something about crypto stacking, not mining, stacking.
Mm-hmm. Some cryptocurrencies offer their owners the opportunity to earn passive income through a process called staking. Crypto staking
not
involves using your cryptocurrency. Did I say stacking?
No, you said staking.
Oh, okay.
I said stacking. That's how much
it
you
involves
lost me.
using your cryptocurrencies to help verify transactions on a blockchain protocol. And though stacking has its risks, it can allow you to grow your crypto holdings without buying more. So again, they have this internal, and I don't know who they are.
Who is they?
But somebody in the world, the network inherently has its own reward system. So as these people validate the authenticity and the accuracy of blockchain technology, they're rewarded in cryptocurrency, which is genius. You don't have to understand it, but it's like you're creating a system that the more people want to validate your system, you're rewarding them, which makes your system more validated, hence more secure. So that's kind of that's the whole thing.
And we're going to just knock our microphones. All of okay.
So
yeah,
those are a lot of the pros. Let's talk about the cons.
Wait a minute. So they have to continue. I'm downloading.
You're never
going to
fully understand this. I'm just saying.
Wow.
If you do, I'll buy you buntinis.
I don't want buntinis. You can buy me a margarita, though. No, I don't need to be rewarded like the stackers. I'm just kidding. The stakers, whatever they are. But I'm just
be stackers.
Whatever.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, why does somebody get rewarded for continuing to validate something? I don't. You know what? You can't answer that. Let's move on.
There's a white paper on it. You should read the white paper.
You know what? That's what I'm going to bring next time to the show. I'm going to bring the crypto white paper. Would we all like to? Nobody's going to tune in for that. That's fine.
It'd be on the list of like my Magna Carta.
Ryan and Kelly would tune in because they're forced to listen to us.
That's funny.
30 minutes.
Okay, so let's go over the cons before we go over kind of the operational side.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Just to pack that all in. So it perceived. This isn't from you, but perceived better security. Perceived safety. What about portability?
Portability, accessibility,
right? Accessibility and
pros.
portability. Okay.
Yeah. And then, just the ease of use. I have found that to be true. I do investments all across the map. And in terms of buying and selling crypto is one of the easiest I've participated in. Yeah. Because everything is right there. You don't need a PhD. You don't need a broker. You don't need a third party. You can do it all yourself. So that part.
You don't have to be a staker or a miner.
You don't.
To be a crypto.
And you don't even have to pronounce staking or stacking correctly.
Whatever.
Do it,
you don't have to get it.
You don't have to get it.
No. Okay, cons.
Cons. So many, I think, people who are jealous of the cryptocurrency world.
Like
think of the competitors.
Non-cryptos.
Your banks are competitors. Your governments are competitors.
Yeah, but a lot of them do it.
Established financial organizations are competitors.
No, I meant not the
world.
organizations. I mean individuals.
Yeah, I'm talking more. I think it's more establishments.
Okay.
That put these kind of cast these shadows of doubts. They're legitimate, but they're not been proven yet, right?
Okay.
So blockchain has not been broken. So if you look at the facts, it has not been broken or hacked. But what people in, I think, the establishment like to kind of throw out there is how untested it is, and how it could potentially be hacked. But when you kind of dig a little bit deeper, and I believe there's sections in the white paper about this specifically, is the level of billions in computers and time and hours it would take to hack it. No one person or group could actually do it. And it's yet to be proven. Again, it's gained wide adoption, but it's really not until I think it's more long term that the blockchain security will be proven out.
Do you think it will? I'm not asking your opinion. I'm just.
I think it will, because historically, any kind of large platforms that have been opened in architecture and added transparency to it were pretty legitimate, and the transparency in itself allowed less fraud because everyone could see it.
That's true.
Everyone could validate it. Everyone could have access to that. So I think conceptually, I like it a lot because of just the vastness of it and the transparency of it. Well,
and it's not surprising that we would be moving towards this type of digital currency with just technology.
Well, yeah,
where we're at in the
technology.
world.
I mean,
and that it's global.
We all have cell phones now. We all have, I mean, apps. Or how many apps does everyone have on their phone?
I know. Well, this is like
30.
our third arm. If this goes away, it's like we're cut off or something. I know. Okay,
like if we have to know a phone number,
quick poll.
Forget that.
Are we crypto? Do you like crypto? No, so you don't like the crypto. What are you? I like it. We got two different opinions in here.
Yeah, and it's all over the map. Whoever you ask, it's your,
Yeah. Well, I used to be very anti because I'm like, I don't get it. But that's maybe just because I didn't, and I still don't understand. It's just not like I have like grasped it. But I was very anti for a long time because I was like, what is it? This doesn't make sense.
Sure.
And just over time, I was pretty strong against it. And now over time, I've started to come around to the idea. I mean, maybe I'm your next miner. Watch out. I did just look up crypto white paper. I did just look up crypto. I'm gonna read it.
Next con, and we've talked a lot about this, and it's important to mention again, is how volatile the crypto market is. So you never really know in any given minute if your crypto is going to go up for the day or down for the day. Like it is always shifting. This week when the market tanked, guess what else tanked? Cryptocurrencies. When the market rebounded, guess what also rebounded? Cryptocurrencies. So it's very fluctuating. So you want to make sure if you're going to try this, start with, whatever amount, similar what you would take to Vegas, whatever amount you put on red and you're going to lose, that's what you should honestly psychologically put in crypto if you want to try it, because you just have no control. And so what has happened to so many people? So crypto at its high in April 2021, the capitalization of the market was about $2.1 trillion. As of mid-April, it was $1.9 trillion. Wow. And so, and actually, it might have even gotten, I'll validate and say 2.9 trillion. So there's almost $1 trillion worth of shift on the downside, a lot. Which is why, if you spend enough time in it, there are people out there who were crypto millionaires in 2021 who either, if they didn't sell on the high, because market timing, as we've talked about, is one of the dumbest things you can do because you can't market time. No one has a crystal ball. Right. It's very difficult. It's more of a lucky guess if you do it right. Sure. But these crypto millionaires, if they held on to it, they're not so much maybe millionaires anymore because of the shift out with the downturn. So it's just something to be ready for. It's part of the characteristic behind what crypto is.
Well, did you see the recent news on crypto?
I did not.
Well, that's...
Educate me up.
It's really not on crypto news. I read it this morning about, I was trying to come up with something that you wouldn't know before I got here, which never really happened very well. And now I
didn't know about Buntinis.
Huh? Well, that's not... Look at the value that I bring for the podcast. Look at the value I bring. I can give you your Buntini updates. I can tell you that Gucci goes crypto with U.S. stores to start accepting crypto payments.
If that would have only been the case in Scottsdale, that would have been genius.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
And there was some news about Elon.
Dang it!
Something about him being it had to do with it had to do with Twitter, but there was some account, like some they were going to back it by another 500 something, and he's going to become the interim CEO of Twitter. I mean, I know he bought it, but I don't know all the ins and outs.
He's going to pay part of the $44 billion in crypto, maybe.
I think that's what it. Maybe that something backed by $500 million in crypto. So yeah, there was some. I like Elon Musk news. I don't really know much about the guy except he's clearly.
I know
he's crazy smart. Crazy smart.
He's going to help. Well, and I personally think he's going to help erase this next con of crypto, because I've seen him do interviews with Leonardo DiCaprio about apparently Elon Musk took him on a tour of one of his labs of what he's working on, of these like energy generators who can power a city with a small with a generator that fits inside like one building, what have you.
Really?
So one of the Bitcoin mining controversies is around how much power it takes to run all of these computers for the mining portion of Bitcoin and different cryptocurrencies, twice as much power as all U.S. residential lighting. So it's quite, because again, the power to run all of these computers is
Which
a lot.
We talked about last time.
And then finally, the final con before we get to a quick drop list of how to even start with a crypto account is, I think, the most significant. We talked about this a little bit on last show. Because it's not regulated, governments regulate everything over time, especially anything with popularity. Mm-hmm. And so there will be some kind of regulatory changes and crackdowns in the market at some point in time. We discussed that I think the government will have to bend towards what the market demands because of so many people participating in it, that they're not going to be able to change it all that much or add too much to it, but they will crack down. Like China has forbid cryptocurrencies because they're making their own digital currency.
Right.
Well, they're a communist country. They can do that. I don't think that will fly in the United States.
Sure.
And so that's the part of that kind of risk where it will change. What will it look like? Will it be everything be Bitcoin and that will be the only one? Or, there's a lot of different forecasting of what that could look like. So we'll see.
Do you think a lot of them will start to merge, like Bitcoin, Ethereum?
There's always in any market that has success over time, there's always market consolidation.
Yeah.
So, I always like to look at and we talked about Kleenex, your puffs versus Kleenex. You always tend to want to go to the first to the market because they're going to define the market. So Bitcoin is the most popular. It's the highest market capitalization. It's accepted at most, if there's any retailers that take cryptocurrency in the U.S., they take Bitcoin. And it's still only a handful. But to your point with your Gucci news, it's only going to increase as people get more comfortable with it as the security proves itself out.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, more stores. I mean, if Gucci starts to do it, then maybe Louis Vuitton will do it.
Sure.
And
Who
maybe
knows?
it'll be whatever. But.
Yeah, or Nordstrom, or it's always those first trailblazers, and then people start to follow pretty quickly in line.
Right.
So, so before we end, I wanted just to spend a couple minutes here on how to buy crypto safely, because there's a lot of there's been some things like the movie I just mentioned with the Canadian crypto king who started a platform that he embezzled from. So you want to be really careful on how you do it, because there's multiple ways on how you can buy cryptocurrency.
Is it proven that he embezzled it? Are we calling somebody?
Oh, it's proven he embezzled
guilty?
it.
Okay.
It's not proven if he's deceased
He's
or not.
not dead. That man took off.
Yeah, he did. Well, and where he died, speculatively in India, and where they can fake death certificates people go to fake their death in India. Like that's like what they're known for.
What?
And what he supposedly passed away from too is something they looked up the statistics and said this is kind of weird that he passed
in his
away.
30s or
It was like
Yeah.
Crohn's disease or
Crohn's
something
disease.
like
Yes,
that.
it was.
Like
yes.
it's very rare to die from
It's
Crohn's
very rare.
disease.
Yeah.
And even when you're younger, like his age.
Yeah.
So it's suspect.
So you knew about it.
It's sus,
It
as
is
my
very sus.
as my boys tell me.
My son always says, "Mom, that is so sus." I'm like,
I'm
then
See,
I caught
I
on.
learned that today.
I know sus.
Sus.
You
I've
didn't know
never
what
heard
sus?
that. No.
Jackson and Haley don't say sus.
Not to me, they don't.
I'm bringing.
You're bringing all the value.
Yeah, well, Ryan said sus first. We'll give it to.
So
we'll give it to
number
our
one,
producer.
how to buy crypto safely.
Okay.
Number one, decide where to buy it and do some research on what kind of platform you want to buy it. There's some platforms out there that also sell stocks like Robinhood, Webull, and SoFi Active Investing, TradeStation. Those do crypto and other investment kind of vehicles. I don't have any experience with them. I know a lot of millennials tend to like Robinhood, I think because of the ease of functionality. But I'm not endorsing. I'm just saying what are some buzzwords
You know
to
which
go
one
look
I would
at?
pick?
Which one?
Webull, because don't you remember like the Webull people when we were little? Do you remember the Webull people?
That's a solid
Oh,
way
you're
to
way too
pick
young. Yeah, that's right. It's the Webull people.
Oh.
Weren't they the Webull people that were the round little? They didn't have legs that we played with when we were kids. The Webull people.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I picked Webull just because I like their name. Is that kind of what? Are we also talking? Is Coinbase a platform?
So I'm
'Cause I
getting
have
there in a second.
Oh, sorry.
So, and then there's platforms that are devoted to the crypto world. I tend to like going with a platform that's specialized to if you're
Okay.
already at high risk, if you're already a little on the fence about is this legitimate or not. I like the expertise that like a Coinbase. So Coinbase, Gemini, and Kraken. Anything named Kraken. I'm sorry, I'm not giving you my business because that's just
Kraken doesn't sound right.
Kraken
huh?
doesn't sound professional.
Kraken. All right.
Gemini, has had some bad press. Coinbase, what I've experienced and what I've seen out there, they've been pretty solid.
That's what I have.
From my experience and ease of use.
Yeah.
And they have a better selection of cryptocurrencies. So they have good selections on storage options. So let's get to the next thing is once you pick your platform, so you need to make sure that it's easy to use, that it's secured. What do they use for security? Those kind of things. And then second, how are you going to pay for it? So like I said before, most cryptocurrency purchases, you're going to have to use cash. Okay. And so like when I opened my Coinbase account, I had to link it to my Wells Fargo bank account, which I was a little...
See, that's what made me nervous.
Okay, this is a little, but I picked an account, honestly, that I didn't have a lot of cash in. Okay. So it wasn't one of my main accounts. I kind of put, and they only allow you to purchase certain amounts a day. Okay. So there's other fail safes, I think, in place so that if there's something to be embezzled or something cracked down on security, it's not, it's reduced because of daily limits and what you can put in accessibility connected to your crypto account. Okay. So that helps. But how you'll pay for it. So you typically have to use a debit kind of account or a bank account. We don't recommend, don't use credit cards because it's so volatile and the interest rate, like no.
Big fat no.
And most people are going to use what's called a fiat currency, like the US dollar, to purchase crypto. Like you're going to use a real currency. As opposed to so when you're not using a real currency, you could theoretically, the first time you buy, you're going to have to use real currency unless you're a minor, and then you could get gifted or rewarded currency.
No, that's if you're a
typically.
Staker.
Well, no, if you're a minor.
Staker.
But
okay.
But once you have, once you have a Bitcoin, you could theoretically use your Bitcoin to purchase a different cryptocurrency like Ethereum.
Okay.
So, but to get off and running, you're going to have to use
and then
US
you can use
dollars
digital to
That's
buy
right.
more digital. Okay.
Yep. And then you'll have to decide, okay, how do you want to continue to add value to your account? So you're going to, if you want to purchase more, you're going to have to, link a bank account or something like that. Okay. And so just make sure do your research. What platforms, what do they charge you in fees? What's their security protocol like? What's their digital wallet like? I didn't know this, and this was pretty fascinating. So they recommend not having a lot in your platform balance. So because of there might be if it is ever hacked, if it ever is what have you, there are cold wallets and hot wallets.
Cold and hot.
In the crypto world. So a hot wallet has internet connectivity. So that's more of your digital wallets, like on your Coinbase or what have you. And then I looked up, there's some things called cold wallets that look like almost thumb drives that can store all of your private keys. It's an actual physical thing. It's actual physical, like
I could touch it. Yes.
You can buy it like at Best
tangible.
Buy.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Are you getting
and
this
it is a cold wallet that you can save all of that on. So if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto and you don't want to keep it online and exposed to internet, you can buy a cold wallet.
Move it from the hot to the cold.
That's right. Move it from the hot to the cold. And then fourth, you need to select what cryptocurrency you're going to purchase. So we reviewed these last week a little bit. There's Bitcoin. There's Ethereum, which is big in the gaming world. Cardano, which is a competitor to Ethereum, led by one of its co-founders. There's Litecoin, which is an adaptation of Bitcoin, intended to make payments easier. There's all these now like kind of one-offs. Like they saw the success of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and now there's all these one-offs to see like, can we improve processing times? Can we be cheaper? Which Bitcoin Cash came out as a cheaper cash-to-cash transaction. Stable coins, which you covered last show.
That last time.
It's more, quote, stable in theory because it's tied to the U.S. dollar or other kind of real world assets.
So it's not as volatile.
Yeah. So, know where you're going to buy it. Research the security. Mm-hmm. Make sure if you tie it to a bank account of some kind, I would say tie it to an account that's not your main account that has all of your money in it.
That's
as an extra layer of security. And then select the crypto for you. Bitcoin being the first and most valuable currently. It might change, but you have options there. So, but like I said, and it was, so in 2021, the height of crypto was at 2.9 trillion. As of mid-April, it was 1.9 trillion. Wow. And so there's a lot of shifting going on. So we're not endorsing if you should or should not. We at least wanted to equip you with, if you do, what are some things to think about if you decide.
This is the hot topic, right? This is what everybody's talking about.
If you have a financial show, you have to address it.
It was the big,
because, like I said, it's everywhere. It's everywhere on TV. It's everywhere. Like we saw it on the gas station side. It's everywhere.
And to be fair, someone that we all know and love kind of pressured you to do it.
That's true. That's okay.
I did.
I caved.
You did. I was like, we have to talk about this.
I know. I know.
All right.
So that is our Cuckoo for Crypto series.
Yes.
Next week, we're going to start more of the behavioral finance, psychology side of things because people are getting real stressed and real anxious again.
This is where Shannon's going to geek out. Psychology.
Psychology, the whole like body, mind, spirit connections. And I'm actually going to go and kind of deep dive. So we all know that when we have stress, it might manifest in a sore throat or a stomach or what. I'm going to actually have a lot of charts based on science, not charts because that sounds really dumb.
Please.
But if you want to know where you're storing your stress based on what hurts, we're going to tell you.
Next
a lot of people are fascinated.
We need margaritas.
Shut up. How can people find us?
CoffeeTalkPodcast.com, Instagram, Coffee Talk Podcast, DMS, #Ryan.
Decoding crypto because I can't spell sus.
Don't you gotta?
Is it 2 S's or
Don't you have to
one
push some button over there?
I preemptively turned it on. I
Between the Price
anticipated
is Right
what
commercial.
any good producer does
Were you
is
too busy?
anticipate what
Well,
his hosts are going to do.
Right. You were busy watching The Price is Right. It's fine. There's a TV in the room.
I'm more of
for
a
those that are
Jeopardy guy
listening.
myself.
Oh, Family Feud. All right. I'm sorry. What's your hashtag?
Good answer. Decoding crypto.
Decoding
Because I can't spell sus. Is it 2 S's? Is
Hashtag-
it 1 S?
Well, it can't be two because
Is
it's
it one?
SUSPECT.
It's one.
So
But
S-U-S.
sometimes, the...
It's not
Sus. Don't be sus.
It's not sus.
I was
We're
going to put
embarrassing
the
Kelly.
2
We
S.
just need to shut this
I was
down.
going to put the 2 S's at the end of sus, not the beginning.
We won't argue about
Okay.
Thanks, everybody, for joining.
YouTube. Subscribe, share with your friends. That's
Yes,
our favorite. Can't forget the
absolutely.
bell.
It is our favorite.
Yes.
And it's growing
Yes.
like wildfire. Join. All right.
Thanks.
Have a great day, everybody.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Financial planning services through Lighthouse Financial LLC, a registered investment advisor. Shannon Ross is CEO and managing partner of Lighthouse Financial. Lighthouse and Cambridge are not affiliated.